Hey, pageant fans. Welcome to a live episode of Standouts on Pageantry. I'm your host, Teresa, and in this live, we are going to be talking all things Miss Universe preliminaries. Now, for those of you who were on last night, you would have saw that I went live last night as well, but we had some technical difficulties, so decided to have to cut the live and fix those technical difficulties and then come back and hopefully we won't have any technical difficulties today. But yeah, so let's get into it. So just gonna start fresh. We're talking about the preliminaries for Miss Universe competition, and this year they decided to shake things up on us and do NATCO competition, swimsuit competition, and evening gown. I'm not even gonna call that a competition because y'all didn't even walk on the stage. So I don't know. We're gonna call it an evening gown presentation. That's what we'll call it because that's pretty much all they did was present their gowns to us. So that was interesting. So yeah, let's get into it. Let's talk about the NATCO competition. I'm not the biggest fan of the national competition, the national costume competition. I don't know. I just think it's a bit long. It's kind of drawn out, and I get it, right? I get it. We've got all of these girls coming with these beautiful, elaborate costumes, and yes, each one deserves to be seen. But normally, what I do is I watch up until my country, which is Cayman, and then after that, I kind of, if I'm enjoying it, I'll stick around. But if not, then I'll close it out, come back to it later when I can fast forward, or just look them up online to see who had the most interesting costume. So this time around, they're a little bit smart. They got me because they made us watch the NATCO competition first, and we had to sit through that to get to the swimsuit. So yeah, that was something. But before we get into all that, I do want to say one thing to the Miss Universe organization. If y'all knew you're going to do the NATCO competition, the evening gown and the swimsuit all in one night, y'all should have started this pageant from 5 o'clock in the day because it started I think it was 8 p.m. Mexico time, which was 9 p.m. Cayman time. That was brutal to have to sit through all of the girls wearing their costume, walking across the stage, then all of the swimsuit competition. And low-key, because I was so tired at the end of it, I was kind of glad that they didn't do a full evening gown competition. As much as I would have loved to have seen them, it was late. So that's one thing that I would say right off the bat is I don't know why they decided to start the show at 8 instead of earlier, because everybody knows that NATCO takes forever. It goes on forever. So you really should start that earlier in the day so that people are not exhausted having to sit through all of it and then watch the swimsuit competition. Another thing I want to talk about is the fact that they even decided to do NATCO on the same night as swimsuit. Listen, there is a reason NATCO had its own day because it goes on forever. It's too much to expect people to sit through. It's not as, unfortunately, I personally don't find it as exciting. I know some people out there are they love the national costume segment, and that's great if you do, but it's so long to sit through. But also, when you have the national costume competition, you just never really know what you're gonna get from these girls, and the stage often ends up a little bit messy because girls got all kind of things coming off of their costumes, and that presents a hazard for the ladies walking in swimsuit. And I believe that there was one contestant, I can't remember who it was, who actually had a little bit of a trip because she was walking on stage and there was all this kind of debris from one of the other girls. Well, not just one, there was multiple things on the stage that I noted from the NATCO competition, and it was just this is why we don't do it all on one night. There is no reason for this. I get that they're trying to, I'm not 100% sure if this is accurate. I heard that they are scoring the national costume competition and it counts to the overall scoring to get into the finals. So I get it, but I'm just like, just still have it on a different night for the safety of the contestants, so you don't mess with their walks, for our sanity as the fans. Like, there was no need to have all of this on one night. If it ain't broke, guys, don't fix it. Like, you're just creating more work for yourself and you're making the fans upset. And honestly, what is this pageant without the Miss Universe fans? What is it? So think about that the next time you guys decide to put everything in one night. But let's get into some of my standouts from the NATCO competition. So, Denmark, Colombia, Guinea, Cote d'Ivoire, Cuba, DR Congo, Ecuador, Egypt, India, Guyana, Honduras, Hong Kong, Italy, Japan. Oh, you know what I remember about Japan? She was on skates, and I thought, girl, you are brave to be up on that stage on skates, because you could have fallen and gotten hurt, but you didn't. But there was a moment where I thought she was, so it was suspenseful. I was like, oh my God, is she gonna fall? Let's hope not. And she didn't. So kudos to you, Japan, for making it through that. Kazakhstan, Mexico, Nicaragua, Nigeria, Pakistan, Peru, Philippines, Puerto Rico, Somalia, Turks and Caicos, Venezuela, and Zimbabwe. So those were all the costumes that caught my eye that I thought were like fab, like wow, really grand, or just had like something unique about them. I was really saddened to hear that Miss South Africa dropped out or withdrew from the competition because of health concerns or because she was sick. That's really unfortunate. I know how much work goes into preparing for a competition like this, and honestly I was really looking forward to seeing her compete, because I didn't watch her national competition, but I had seen clips of her walk, and I knew that that would be something that she would have to work on before coming to Universe, and I was curious to see like how much improvement she had made in that area. But other than that, I was really enjoying her fashion. Like, I loved it. It was very classic. It was very vintage as well. Like, even though honestly I did like her style, I did feel like she was giving me Miss World energy. I don't know, when I saw her I felt very much like it's giving like royalty, like the royal family, the royals, you know, that very classic look that I feel kind of goes more with Miss World for me personally. I don't know about you guys. Comment down below if you feel the same about South Africa's style. I also saw that Kosovo did not compete because she hurt her ankle apparently, and it didn't heal in time, which totally sucks because you put so much work into it only for something like this to happen. It's such a big letdown, and I'm not even sure if like those girls will be able to recompete next year because they didn't get the chance. That would be nice of Miss Universe, but I feel like they're gonna say no to that. And I was also wondering about that for Panama, because we know Panama, she got, I guess, disqualified very early on for, I don't know, at first it was that she left her room without permission, and now I'm seeing other things that she was like with her boyfriend. I'm really not sure what's the truth. But if you guys have any insight on Miss Panama's situation, please do comment down below. I'm very curious to know like what happened. I feel like on one hand, wow, they took like a harsh stance. So I felt like, you know, maybe whatever really transpired was something very serious, and they felt like they could not overlook it. They could not give her a second chance. They just had to cut her. I was shocked when I heard that, but saddened for her because I thought she was a standout. Like, she's gorgeous and she had the right look. So it was really sad to see that happen to her. But I'm curious, would she be allowed to compete next year? Like, could the Miss Universe organization allow her national director to send her again next year for her to recompete? I don't know, probably not, but it's worth asking, I think, and I'd be curious to know what the answer is. So let's get into the swimsuit segment. So they kind of came out in groups, and they all had like, there were some different options, swimsuit options. There was a one piece which honestly looked dark purple, maybe dark blue. I'm not sure because I did not feel like the lighting on the stage was the exact best. So it's hard for me to tell what color that was. And then they had the bikinis, and I think those looked, to me, they looked purple, but then I saw a picture of them where they looked blue. So I'm not sure what color they were. And then of course there were other people, other countries wearing full body suits, and things like that. So I'm gonna talk about each group and who stood out in their group, kind of thing. So for me, it was Argentina, Aruba, Australia, Bahamas, Bolivia, Bonaire, Botswana, Brazil. And I do want to go back to Bahamas really quickly because Bahamas, she shocked me. She impressed me. I did not expect it from her, but she showed out. And I'm wondering, did you get training from our girl Chantal? I was wondering. Chantal O'Brien, Miss Bahamas from a couple years ago. Just wondering, did you get training from her? Because the walk was on point. Let me see if I can pull that up here for you guys. 1 second. So this is Bahamas. And look at her. This is Bahamas. Look at her. Ooh, the energy, the presence, the walk, the pose. Yes, girl. Look at the body. Look at her. Ooh, loved it. Yeah. It was just so much confidence. She just radiated on stage and she looked good. Like, look at her. Great command of the stage, great footwork. You can tell that she is very confident. She knows what she's doing. She is here to impress us. And I feel like she did just that. Like, she was incredible. So shout out to you, Miss Bahamas. Like, wow. I just honestly was not expecting her to really kill it like that. So great job, Bahamas. So on my edge was Angola, Cambodia, and Canada. Then we go to group 2. So in group 2, we had Chile. That was one of my standouts. Colombia, another standout. Cuba, Curacao, DR Congo. Oh, let me pull her up because she was another one that I thought special. Special. Let me see if I can just pull her up really quickly. DR Congo. Let me see. Did I go too far? That's British. Colombia. Yeah. Cote d'Ivoire. Dominican Republic. Oh, we might have went. No, we went. Girls really tested my ABCs, my 1, 2, 3s. Where is she? No, we gone too far back. Oh, there she is. Let's back it up. Okay, so here we go. This is Miss DR Congo. 1 second. Give it a moment for Czech Republic to exit. Look at that turn. Look at that pose. Ooh, yes, it's giving sexy. It's giving regal. She is just killing it. Look at the face. Gorgeous smile. She has a little bit of fierce there. Ooh, look at her. I just really enjoyed her performance. There was presence. It was just, look at that pose. She's got a great body. Look at her. You can tell she's really enjoying her time on the stage. Yeah, look at her go. Yes. Now, one thing I will say is I wish that she had looked at the camera, and I wish that for a lot of the girls, to be honest. A lot of the contestants, oh, I didn't actually show you the video. Let me cut back and show you guys the video so you can see what I'm talking about with DR. My bad. Okay. So, here we go. Again. Okay, Czech Republic is leaving. Okay, so this is DR Congo. Yeah, she is doing the thing. She's doing it. Look at her. I just, like I said, love the confidence. Love that she is really enjoying being on the stage. I'm loving her turns. Look at the pose. That's a great pose for her. She's got an amazing body, I think. Look at her. Very gorgeous. Like, well done. Like, girly, you are amazing for giving us all of that. I'm just gonna play it in the background while I. So yeah, what I was saying about the camera, right, is I really wish that a lot of the girls had nailed that last look in the camera. Um, you can tell that a lot of them, I don't know how much time they had to practice. A lot of them just did not look in the camera. They also just looked like they were going to fall off the stage at certain points. Like, I'm just not sure how the stage is necessarily set up. Like, it just looked odd. Like, it looked like they were so busy looking at their audience that, they were gonna walk off the stage at some point, some of them. So that was very interesting to see. Let's go on to the next group. I can tell you who my favorites were from there, my standouts, the ones that really were hitting it. So, for group 2, I was saying Chile, Colombia, Cuba, Curacao, DR, Congo. We loved her presence. Dominican Republic. Shall I bring her up on the screen? Y'all want to see Dominican Republic? Because Dominican Republic was, to me, the winner of this group. Like, I thought she did an amazing job. Let's oh, there she is. Let me full screen it. There she is. This is Dominican Republic. Let's look at her. Ooh, I love how she slowly brought that leg in. Look at the hip action she's giving us. Look at that nice turn. Executed very, very well. Very well. Like, I am so impressed. Little hair toss there. And I like that she's standing there. And look how slow she takes off her cape. And she just poses. She's holding it. Now, I did see this morning on social media that there was a clip where you could see the person, the stage crew was, he was down below the stage and trying to direct her and tell her to like exit, and she was just not having it. I'm not sure how much something like that would play into her scoring. I mean, I don't even know, like, did the judges even notice that, or did they notice that she was holding her poses and really soaking up her time there on stage? I don't know, but I did see some people like commenting and stuff about it, so I thought that was interesting. Other than Dominican Republic, I do want to talk about Denmark. I'm a bit on the fence about Denmark. I love Denmark, and I do think she can make top 30 still, but this is something that I noticed. This is what I saw in her walk. I'm gonna break it down for you. So I'm gonna go back here. All right, so I'm gonna cut here and let's look at Denmark's performance, okay? Okay, great walk. Love the hip action. Love how she's utilizing the cape. But you see what she's doing with her face? She's doing this open mouth like, ha. And then look at her foot there. I don't like that pose. So if you're going to do that pose, right? And let me just back it up and see if I can catch her in the pose. There she is, in that pose, right? You see that foot? To me, that looks so awkward, that left foot. I feel like it either needs to be turned out and facing the other direction, or she needs to have it pointed. I just feel like that foot looks awkward. To me personally, it's an awkward pose. And then I like this pose, natural T stance with a little break in the ankle. She looked confident, great turn there. I didn't like what she did there. Did you see that kick? What was that kick? Like, what was that kick? I did not like that. But the walk itself was good. And that's something else I want to note is this stage very quickly. Let's talk about this stage for a second here. They kept talking about this infinity stage. And honestly, for the longest time, I did not realize that they actually literally meant an infinity sign. I just thought it was the name of a stage. I don't know. But I feel like the stage did not allow them to really walk as much as I personally would have loved them to walk. You know what I mean? Like, I feel like it was a short stage, so they didn't really have a lot of time to walk. And I feel like, I was gonna say this for the end, but I feel like the angles. We're gonna come back to that. The angles were not working for me personally, but we're gonna come back to that. So Denmark, I was a little disappointed in some of her poses and the things that she was doing on stage, but I still think she did well enough to make top 30. So I still do expect to see her in a top 30. And I'm hoping that for the finals tonight that she will maybe just kind of rein it in a little bit. I think with the facial expressions, she was kind of doing like that. Like, I just feel like it was very jarring to see. It was like, I'm like, okay, we gotta work on the transitions of those faces, and also just the like that. I know what she's trying to do. She's trying to do an open mouth laugh, but it's looking very weird because you're like doing like that, you know. Other people who stood out who are kind of on my edge are El Salvador and Fiji. She wasn't bad, so you know, like, that was nice to see. So in group 3 we had Finland. Quick note for Finland, I didn't love her hair. Like, I didn't hate it, but I didn't love her hair. I think I prefer her with a blowout straight, so we can look at that, so she can have that like blunt, fierce, edgy look. And so I want to see that from her for finals. So I'm hoping that she goes with that rather than that like slick back, wet kind of look. France was great. Loved France. Great Britain. Okay, you showed up, girl. Thank you. Honduras. Let's look at Honduras for a second. She's on my edge, and I want y'all to see why. You'll see why. Let's see if I can quickly get over to. We're gonna try to see what's up with Honduras. I think that's Fiji there. Yep. Come on, let's get to. Oh, there she is. Is that her? Yeah, that is her. Let's see. This is Gibraltar. Okay. Here we go. Oh no, that's Great Britain. My bad. See? Lighting, you can't even see who's on the stage. Let me see. All right, there she is. I love Honduras. I love me some Honduras. I really do. I love her energy. I love her presence. But I was a little bit on the fence about this performance. So she right away, right? When she came out, look at what she did. She kind of stopped, and then she kind of kept going. Almost like she noticed she wasn't center stage, so she just like tried to get into center stage. So she stopped, and then she kept going. There, don't love that. But the walk, okay, she's giving us energy. Okay, so she had a little mishap with the cape, and she said something, or she did something in her face that made me know she had a mishap with the cape. I feel like one of her arms is moving kind of like more than the other. Yeah, like, I don't know. I think she's having a cape malfunction. That's what it is. Maybe that's what it is that like totally distracted me from her. And I just feel like she was fine in the beginning, but I think it's when she went to play with the cape. Yeah, she gave it away with her face that something happened with the cape there. There she is. And the way she got into that first pose, didn't love that. But also the camera angles. She brought it home here. She was one of the few that did look at the camera here. So that's good. Do I still think she can make a top 30? Possibly. Yes, possibly. Even though she's personally on my edge, I do think she could still make a top 30. But I wouldn't be surprised if she did not, you know? Also, someone who I thought was kind of like I'm on the fence about is India. I don't know, like, I feel like she was okay. Like, I didn't think she was like, wow, amazing, stood out so much. She was just okay. From the next group, we had Mexico, Namibia, who's on my edge, and so is Netherlands. So yeah, the two of them, that are on my edge. It's just more of like, it could go either way. I could see it happening, I could see it not happening for them. But out of that group, definitely Mexico, and Namibia and Netherlands were among the best. Group 5, New Zealand. Good for you, New Zealand. Paraguay, Peru, Philippines. Now I do want to bring out Philippines because Philippines kind of gave us a different look that I was not expecting from her. So let's fast forward a little bit here. Oh, there's Miss Finland. Okay, who do we have here? Myanmar. Okay. Okay. Okay, here is Philippines. Let's full screen this and I'll show you. Love that opening pose. Philippines is so gorgeous. She really is. Now she went for a curly hair outdo, which I'm not mad at. But here's the thing about, love that pose. So she's giving us a completely different vibe than what she did in Miss Universe Philippines, right? Miss Universe Philippines, I felt like she gave us spice. She gave us fierce. She gave us edgy, sexy. Here, she's giving us a bit more softer, a bit more feminine. I'm not mad at it. I think I'm just surprised at the direction because it's not the norm for Philippines. But I have to say that I don't think Chelsea Manalo is the normal Miss Philippines. She's more, from what I've seen of her in this Miss Universe competition, I feel like she's more subdued. Like she has more of a quiet confidence. She's not doing a whole lot. She's not trying too hard, or I shouldn't say trying too hard, but she's not doing the most, I think. I think she's just letting her natural beauty speak for itself. Just watching her hair, she's giving us a nice walk. It's very controlled. I love that pose. It's beautiful. You can tell she's a very beautiful girl. And it's just a very different performance than what we've come to know and know of Philippines, right? So I was very surprised that was the direction that they were going in. I think, will she make the top 30? Yes, I absolutely think that she definitely will make the top 30, but I think she's going to need to bring back the performance from Miss Universe Philippines to really go the distance in Miss Universe, because Dominican Republic and a couple of other girls is not playing. They're not playing. And the soft, sweet, feminine vibe, I mean, I guess it depends on what the judges are looking for at the same time. Like, I don't know what the organization and the judges have been guided to look for, but I just feel like the way the pack is moving, it's more giving us fierce, it's giving us sexy. So let's see if Philippines is going to turn up the heat, or at least if she can give us a bit more of that sexy, fierce, glamorous goddess that she gave us in Miss Universe Philippines. That's what I would want to see from her. So let's see that. If you can't do it all the way, even give us like midway, like give us a bit more of that fierceness. You got it, girl, because Philippines always deliver. So I really liked her. Other people who were kind of on my edge were Nigeria, Persia. Persia doesn't surprise me. I was like, oh, look at you. Portugal. No, I have had my eye on Portugal because I do love a curly hair girl. Like, she was so pretty in all of her outfits and stuff like that. But I don't know. I just want more from her. I want more, Puerto Rico. Oh, let's look at Puerto Rico because she was just a standout amongst this group. I would say, dare I say, definitely like winner of the group, I think. Let me find her for you guys really quickly. Where did she come in? Oh, too far. Where is Miss Puerto Rico? Poland. That's Portugal. Here she is. This is Miss Puerto Rico, guys. Look at Miss Puerto Rico. Now, Look at her. She looks glamorous. She looks beautiful. I'm loving the earrings. I love how vibrant they are. I love her hair. They did a good job with the hair. Love the walk. Love the poses. Didn't love that, but okay. So yeah, I thought she had good command of the stage. Like, look at her body. Body's insane. She's working it with the hips, and she really looked in the camera. Like, I thought she did a good job. She really impressed me and definitely solidified a placement for herself in top 30. So yeah, she did good. She did really good. I thought she really stepped up her game there, for me at least. So yeah, that was Puerto Rico. Other people who are on my edge, Samoa. Hello, Samoa. She came out and I thought she was darling. I liked her a lot. So yeah, she did good. The last group 6. So for me, it was Spain, Thailand, Turks and Caicos. Oh, Turks and Caicos. Y'all gotta keep your eye on Turks and Caicos because she could very well end up in the top 30 this year. USA, Venezuela. We have to watch Venezuela because for me, it was Venezuela and then Zimbabwe. So Venezuela for me was absolutely on fire. I thought, oh, there she is. Let's go Venezuela. And I mean, it's Venezuela. So are we surprised about Venezuela? I think not. Like, they always do well. So this is, oops, where did it go? There we go. This is Venezuela. Hello. Look at her. The body movement. The slow turn. Ooh. Yes. I just thought the walk was everything. I loved her walk. I loved her presence. I loved her gorgeous smile. A bit much with the cape. I think they all just did a bit much with the cape for me personally. But look at her stride. Look at that hip action. Look at her abs. Body on point. This girl has put in the work. Like, can we look at the abs? Just look at it. Look at it. Oh my gosh. The abs. Killer body. Insane body. She's just got it. Like, everything. I loved it. What a great performance from her. So yeah, like, she was really bringing it. And then last but not least, we had Zimbabwe. I thought Zimbabwe did a good job as well. She's really been standing out to me, you guys. I'm really rooting for Zimbabwe to get into that top 30. I think she can do it. So I'd be very excited to see her in a top 30. So yeah, that was the swimsuit competition. Those are the ladies who really caught my eye. I think overall that was more than 30, but I didn't really narrow it down. I just wanted to kind of highlight people who were definitely standing out amongst their little groups, and then obviously we have the people who are on the edge, which are kind of like, it could go either way for me. So definitely excited to see the results and see like how it all plays out. So overall, from the swimsuit competition, I do want to say that I felt like there was a lot of overcompensating from non-sash factor countries, as well as a few sash factor countries. Overcompensating. What am I meaning? I'm meaning excessive cape play. Like, excessive. Too much. You're doing too much. The waving. Too much. The excessive poses. Too much. Just like the weirdness. Not weirdness, but it's too much for Miss Universe. It was giving Miss Grand, and we don't need you to be Miss Grand because there is a Miss Grand pageant, and we can take that over there and leave that over there for Miss Grand to manage. But this is Miss Universe. We don't do all that. We don't do too much. You see how we just walk? We give a little hip action. We do a little pose. We work the cape a little bit. We don't do too much. It's very demure. We're very like sophisticated. We're very fierce, but not too much. It's very Miss Universe. Okay, guys, let's stick with that. Let's stick with that, please, because we already have a Miss Grant. We leave that over there. one note that I do have, and this might be personal preference, or like it really depends. But I wish that for the bikinis, that some of the ladies had pulled their bikinis, their bikini bottoms, like higher up, so they were made more of a V and more kind of elongated their legs a bit more. I mean, I guess if you already have long legs, it doesn't really matter too much, but it's my personal preference. I actually don't like low rise anything, so I hate low rise, to be honest. So when I saw some of the ladies who had the swimsuit bottoms were just straight across, I absolutely were like, ugh. I prefer when you pull them up, make your legs look even longer, because we like long legs on stage, and so the longer the better, right? So didn't love that some of them wore it that way, but that's personal preference. Overall, I definitely was surprised at how a lot of the girls just did not seem to have strong walks. That really surprised me. And when I'm looking at the walks, I'm looking at three things. I'm looking at mechanics, which is like, posture, arm movement, hip movement, stride, heel to toe, walking in a straight line, those kind of things. And then I'm looking at presentation, which has a lot to do with style. Is your makeup, your hair, your accessories, your gown, your shoes, is it complimenting you? Is it making you stand out, or is it like not helping? And then there's performance, which is what you do and how you do it, right? The poses, the facial expressions, the presence, the aura, the energy that you bring to the stage. Do you have it? Is it given? And I just felt overall a lot of it needed work. I was very surprised. A lot of the girls really needed to work on those walks a bit more, I think. I was surprised because this is Miss Universe, and there's a certain caliber that you expect. And so I was surprised to see that not a lot of the women had like strong walks. One of the things I want to talk about, and this is more of a note for the show. So earlier I talked about how the organization decided to do all three of these competitions in one night, and how that was a terrible idea because obviously, they set some of these girls up to fail because, like I said, one of the girls, I don't remember who it was, she had a mishap on stage because of the debris that was on stage. Y'all set that girl up to fail. Like, you setting these girls up to fail. And speaking of setting people up to fail, let's talk about the queen. I love her. I think she's been an amazing queen. She's iconic. She's probably one of my favorites, one that I'm never gonna forget. Shanice, girl, I love you. But the Miss Universe organization, whoever was stage manager, director, whoever's responsible for what's happening on the stage, did you dirty. They did our girl dirty, because I love that she got the opportunity to host the prelims, but can I tell you what I did not love was the fact that for the whole show, she was pretty much screaming the country's name. And I get that she's trying to bring energy and excitement to the show and add that in. But I feel like somebody somewhere could have pulled her aside and given her a couple of pointers on how to present in a way that wasn't her screaming the country's name all the time. And I do think that because of her accent, it made it a little bit challenging for me personally to understand which country she was introducing next. And that went on for the entire show, or at least until the end of the swimsuit segment, really. So she did it throughout Natco, throughout swimsuit, and I just really wish someone could have, like, I don't know if they were wearing IVFs in their ear, someone could have said something to her to be like, okay, like, let's not shout too loud, or you don't have to say every country in the same way. They could have said something to her, like, hello, like, you're supposed to be about helping these girls and uplifting them and empowering them, and not about letting them fail, because I feel like there was so much chatter online about her screaming the names. Y'all just, you got to do better. Look out for your queens. Take care of your girls. That they're looking to you for the direction. So give them direction. Like, you can't just throw someone on stage who's never, well, I don't know if she's never hosted. I shouldn't say that. Maybe she has hosted, but I just think that little bit of guidance of, okay, let's not scream, because I'm sure they had to practice this. So was she doing this throughout the practice and nobody said anything? Nobody thought this is going to get exhausting for the fans to watch and listen to? Come on, guys. You gotta do better. Really have to do better. That there was no need for her to be on that stage doing that. Someone could have said something to her at some point. Now let's talk about the camera angles. I don't know who the director of this show was, but whoever that person is, they are not in tune with what we want to see as pageant fans. Somebody, I think it was Road to Miss USA, posted like a side-by-side of the Miss Universe prelims and the Miss USA show from this year, and basically the camera angles were far superior. Guys, like, we gotta get people around the pageant we gotta get people who actually know pageantry, know what we want to see, directing these things, because a lot of the camera angles were horrible. They were horrible. Like, there are certain moments you have to know when we want to see a close-up, when we want to see a medium shot, and when we want to see a wide shot, right? So first of all, when she's first coming out, we probably want to see that close-up because we want to see, like, or maybe not when she's first coming out, but like when she's doing her pose, you want to capture some point close up so we can see the face. A lot of these girls did not get close-ups, so we could not see their faces like very clearly. Like, it just was not good. Like, we didn't get, sometime there was like, I think it was Denmark was one of them, where you didn't even get to see her front on when she did the pose when she walked up and did the pose at the corner, like more towards the front of the stage. You didn't even get to see her front on. You saw her from the side. It was like, come on, guys. You have to know which camera angle to pull up when. When do we want to see certain things? And that Miss USA show, they did a good job with that, because we got a wide shot, so we got to see them walking out. And once they got into their position, meaning once they did their first stop, that's when we got a close-up of their face. And it was so beautifully timed, because I have the image of Alma, Miss USA, doing her walk. She's coming out, and I can see it in the back of my mind where she's just like, she stops, she does a turn, and because the camera is a close-up, we get to see her beautiful face. Like, that's what I mean. Like, guys, come on. You're killing me with the camera angles, because we don't get to see everything. We want to analyze the walk when she's walking. So show us when she's walking, give us that. Like, it's not that hard. So I'm hoping that the angles will be better tonight, and that the lighting will also be better, because were y'all trying to blind Miss Brazil? Or was it that she walked somewhere that she wasn't supposed to? And that was the other thing. So their infinity sign is on the stage, and it's clearly marked out, and I'm a bit confused. Are the ladies supposed to walk on the infinity sign, or in the middle of the infinity sign, or outside of the infinity sign? Because I saw a lot of different things happening. It was very odd overall. Overall, it looks like you just needed to have more practices. I don't know, but yeah, needed to have more practices. And the stage just seems small. I don't know. It's a very odd stage. I think when I thought infinity, I'm not even sure what I was imagining, but this just seems a bit like, I don't know, just not what I expected. Last year's stage in El Salvador was way better. I mean, I don't know. Maybe they'll change something up tonight and it'll be different. We shall see. But yeah, let's get into the evening gown portion of it. Oh my gosh. So we griped and we moaned about evening gown not being included in the prelims, and Miss Universe was like, here's your evening gown, and this is what we get. A presentation of gowns, which, like I said in the beginning, I wasn't too vexed about, because honestly, I really was so tired that I didn't know if I had it in me to sit through all their gown performances. I was about to go to bed. But I didn't love it, obviously. And this is why they just, if it's not broke, don't fix it. Just leave it as it is. We love it the way that it is. Nobody was complaining. Nobody was complaining about the format. And then now you guys came and changed it, and I just really didn't like it. A lot of people didn't like it. Anyway, when they all came out, and it was just the fact that they didn't even tell us like what they were planning to do. So we thought we were getting an evening gown competition, and we got an evening gown presentation. And I was thoroughly confused as to why there were 6 women on the stage at the same time. I was like, are they gonna walk together? Because I did kind of remember hearing something about some of the girls are gonna, like, the girls are gonna walk in groups of 3 or 4 because of how many girls there are. So I thought, are they walking together? Oh, this is interesting. No, they didn't walk. They just stood there on the stage and waited for their name to be called. And yeah, that was that. Like, I was like, okay, this is all we get. But yeah, so very quickly, I'm just gonna rattle off. I'm just basing this off of styling at this point, because there was no walk, there was no performance. So Angola, I thought she looked pretty. Argentina, loved it. Bahamas, listen, Bahamas did not come to play with us. Like, she is showing out. Loved it. Bolivia, I was impressed. Brazil, unique. I've never seen anything like it. It's unique. Comment down below what you guys thought about Brazil's evening gown. That was unique. Chile, Chile really bringing it. Cayman, I did love her gown on her. And this is how I know the lighting wasn't that great, because you actually could not tell. You couldn't tell what color that was. But I liked the gown on her. I thought it was a nice gown. Colombia, Cuba, Curacao, she's kind of on my edge there. DR Congo's also on my edge. Denmark, Dominican Republic, girl, what? Ecuador, Finland, France, Germany, Honduras, India and Israel on my edge. Jamaica and Kenya on my edge. Netherlands, that orange. Nigeria is on my edge. Paraguay, Philippines. Okay, so let's stop and talk about Philippines, because again, this was a different direction that I did not see coming. Let me see if I can even pull it up for y'all, because Philippines, they said we're gonna go different this year. We're gonna really change it up. So this, let me see if I can find her. Hopefully I'm not gone too far. This is Latvia. Okay, so Nigeria, Philippines should be somewhere here. Oh, I might have passed her. Did I pass her? That's LMNOP, Netherlands, Nicaragua, Nigeria, Norway. Okay. Oh, here she is coming out. So yes, Philippines. Let's pull her. Oh, there she is. Hi, Miss Philippines. Okay. So this gown, immediately when I saw it, you know what it kind of reminded me of? Olivia Culpo. Olivia Culpo. That's really what it reminded me of. Olivia Culpo. Was she 2000? I don't even remember. Let me know it. 2012? I don't know. Yeah, this was unusual. It was different. It was different from everybody else's gown. It definitely is memorable because of how different it is, and it's just different for Philippines. Like, it's not a gown that we usually see Philippines in, and so they're definitely giving us a different kind of vibe. And shout out to them for trying something different. Sometimes you just need to try something different. Just to keep things fresh and exciting. And I thought that she looked beautiful in this. But again, it comes down to what's the kind of vibe you want to give off. This type of ball gown dress, let me see. While she looked beautiful, it was giving me princessy vibes. I love that it had a deep V, so we got the cleavage, which kind of gave it a little bit more sex appeal. I would have loved it more maybe if it had a slit. I do think it kind of made her look a bit short. That's what I would say, is that it did make her look a bit short. It's quite a heavy skirt. It's just lots of material. And then you can see the bodice of the dress comes down. Like, I think the dress would have made her look taller had the skirt started higher up. Like, if it had an empire waist that was, high up right under the boobs, that would have helped make her look a bit taller. I think this is very her. That's what that is. It's very her. It's very Chelsea, I think. I think this is who Chelsea really is. I don't think Chelsea in Miss Universe Philippines was like I mean, her gown in Miss Universe Philippines was a bit more glam, but still like her, I think. And I think this is prime her. I do think, because I from what I've observed of her, she is more subdued and a bit more like quiet confidence. Like, she's not there to do a whole lot. She's gonna let her face speak for itself, and that's fine. But you have to also be careful that you don't get overshadowed. And I feel like I will remember this dress, but when I think about dresses that are my favorite or like that I'm gonna pull to, I don't think this is the dress that I'm gonna necessarily pull to. But I think she looks gorgeous. I think it suits her well. I just think it makes her look a little short. And I'm hoping that we will see a gown change, something maybe more glamorous, because this is Miss Universe, and Miss Universe does tend to be more glamorous. Like I said, I feel like if this had a slit, it would have amped it up to the Miss Universe level that we have come to expect from Philippines. So I think there's going to be a gown change. Philippines is definitely, I think they're going to give us a gown change, and I think that it's going to be what we've come to expect from them. So I'm looking forward to that. But this was just unique and different, and I shout them out for that. Like, you know, every queen is different, and I think that we saw that with Michelle. Like, her dress was so edgy and it was so her. So shout out to them for allowing their girls to be themselves. Like, I think that that's something smart that they're doing, and you know, I think that's great. So other than Philippines, I feel like I also really liked Puerto Rico, Russia. Oh my gosh, Russia. I really liked Russia's dress. That pop of green, gorgeous. She looks gorgeous in it. It really suited her. I liked Spain, Thailand, Turks and Caicos, USVI, USA, Venezuela in that bright orange, and she had her hair pulled back into a bun. Now, I feel like when it comes to Venezuela, they're not the type of queens to really pull their hair back. They're always the girls that have their hair down. And I thought, yes, thank you, Venezuela, for, you know, pulling your hair back and really allowing us to see the beauty of that gown, because that gown is gorgeous. But again, lighting. I really wish the lighting was better so that we could really get to see these gowns and like appreciate them a bit more. Feel like they were a bit like washed out a little bit. And then Zimbabwe. So those were my standouts in gown. And then there was like a late group as well, and I think that was because some of those girls were part of the Voice for Change segment, and they just probably weren't able to get changed in time to come out with their group. So glad that we didn't just skip over them. I'm glad that we didn't skip over them and we gave them an opportunity to showcase their gowns. Speaking of the Voice for Change segment, so we had, I guess, overall 10 finalists. 7 of them were silver finalists, 3 of them were gold. What is the point of voting for this thing? I don't really understand what the point of voting for the Voice for Change award, because if I go spend my money and vote for the person that I want to win or be in the top 3, and then you're going to turn around and say, oh, in addition to the voting, we actually have not 1, but 2 panels that will review these videos to determine who the real gold finalists will be. Then what did I spend all my money for? Miss Universe? What did I spend all my money for? Because if I'm going to vote for my country to be in the top 3, and she finishes the vote in the top 3, and then you're going to turn around and say, oh, by the way, we actually have these 2 committees put together to review the videos and to determine the actual gold finalists. I think that's so unfair. Then don't make us vote. Don't make us vote, because I just feel like waste of time. It's just a money grab at this point, and I feel like it was a waste of time. Like, I was so like annoyed, and like, why did I not know that this was still gonna be judged? Like, come on, like, why would you do that? Anyway, it's done. I just think it was a waste of money and time now, because honestly, like, what we gonna vote for Miss K-Man to be in the top 3, and then you gonna turn around and say, oh no, JK, she gonna be a silver finalist. Anyway, it was still an amazing accomplishment. Shout out to Miss Universe Cayman Islands, Reagan Ruddy, for making history for us and being among the first to being the first person from Cayman to win or be a finalist in the Voice for Change segment. And that segment is what? This is the second year or the third year? I can't remember. Second year? Or maybe the third year that this has been introduced. So shout out to you, Reagan. You did an amazing job, and we are so proud of you over here. So yeah, that is all the notes that I have. I just want to say, Miss Universe, y'all could have kept that gown segment. You might as well have thrown photos of each girl's gown on the screen and called it a night. Just saying. What a waste. What a waste. Anyway, that's all the time that I have for you guys. I hope that you guys enjoyed this little chit chat with me. Comment down below. I want to hear from you. Who is in your top 30? Who do you think is making the top 30? Who do you think is going to win? Do you guys have predictions on who's going to win? For me, after watching that performance, I really feel like it's going to come down to Venezuela and Dominican Republic. But you never know. You never know. The cards can always change, because finals, it's not done until the fat lady sings. We're going to see who brings it tonight, and let's see if anything changes tonight. But yeah, definitely got my eye on Venezuela and Dominican Republic. We shall see though. All right, guys, have a great night, and we will talk tomorrow after the finals. Join me right back here tomorrow. So yeah, can't wait. Until then, enjoy the finals, and we'll talk soon. Bye.